Well, welcome everyone to the March 18th public meeting for the Town of Conception Bay South Council. And we start, as we do all of our meetings, with our land acknowledgement. The Town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. Okay, adoption of the meeting agenda for tonight, moved by Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor Connors. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Here we go. Carried. Next up, the adoption of the meeting minutes from the meeting of March 4th, moved by Councillor Hillier, seconded by Councillor Hardy. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? And that is carried. Okay, next up, visitors, presentations, and petitions. And we do have some visitors with us this evening, and they are members of the King's Jesters improv group, and they have won the right to represent Newfoundland and Labrador at the Canadian Improv Games, and they are from Holy Spirit High School. And I'd like to invite them up with me now, if they would like to come up. Jess Hines, Olivia Schaub, Logan Savory, Liam Forrestal, Keely Bryan, Emma Newbert, and Meadow Baker, and Danica Hodder. Come on up. Right up front here. Come on up. Join me up here. There we go, yeah. We're going to stand this way so the camera can see us and all the folks at home can see us right there. Right, yeah, there you go. Wave to everyone, sure. Danica, yes. Tell me a little bit about the King's Jesters.
Okay. So basically, to sum it up, we are an improv team based at a high school here. Yes, from Holy Spirit High. We have won the Canadian Improv Game Regionals, and we are headed to Ottawa in April to represent Newfoundland and Labrador. Yeah, so improv, for you, if you don't know what improv is basically where we act without a script. We're giving a random prompt from the audience, and we do a scene based on that prompt. And yeah, it's kind of all on the spot. You just have to go with whatever you get and build off of it.
Is it dangerous for me to ask somebody to yell out something now and for you to do one?
I mean, we could try.
Anybody want to yell out something? What would you suggest that the subject?
We have 4 different types of scenes. We do a life scene where we ask for a pivotal moment in someone's life, a story scene where we ask for a relationship between 2 people, and we have 2 narrators for that one. And also we have a theme scene where we just get a random theme. And what's the last one? Theme. Life story theme. I can't remember. What? Style. Style is our reality TV show title. We do a reality TV show. Okay. We'll do a story scene. Those seem to be our favorite. So we need a relationship between 2 people. So like mother and son, or lovers, or best friends. Best friends? Okay. We're gonna have over 10 seconds.
Okay. This is where the magic happens. So they'll be traveling to Ottawa next month to compete in the National Improv. And while they're there, they're going to be involved in workshops for 4 days and learn all kinds of new tricks of the improv trade, I guess. And I think it's great to support the arts community in this way with this group. So you guys are off and ready to go?
you'll get over it. I don't think I will. But you guys knew each other for like a week. I mean, it was the best week of my life.
See, Caroline, she just went through a big breakup with the one that she thought she would spend the rest of her life with. And her best friend is trying to comfort her through this.
I love you. I really do, but come on. You never loved me like the way you need. You're being unfair. I mean,
See, Caroline's friend is a bit dramatic. She only did know the guy for a week, but there's just no consoling her.
Yeah, they met at a random dance of some sort. You don't really know.
Yeah, they were kind of like boogieing down. This is kind of how they met, right? So you get like Sadie was kind of going up to, his name was Tom, right? So kind of like, hey, what's your name?
I'm Tom.
I'm Caroline. And that's kind of how it happened.
It was really awkward. They went on for like 2 weeks and then he broke up with her.
Yeah,
So
it was a whole thing.
it was a whole thing.
I'm so romantic. Not a David Foster's and a dance with a relationship. I know, it's so romantic, but you deserve better. And I actually have a friend for you to meet. His name is Jeff. And,
Hello, my name is Jeff. Pleasure to meet you.
He happens to have like dancers too.
professional dancer.
And he just broke out into dance in the middle of the hall. Yeah, so absolutely amazing, right? And she fell in love right then and there. Hello, sailor. And her heartbreak was, who's Tom?
Who is Tom?
I'm Jeff.
It's good friend.
Oh, yeah.
And they all lived happily ever after. And
Great job. Well, thank you very much for giving us a good sample of the improv. And congratulations on your provincial win and all the best in Ottawa in April. And I understand that if there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor you, you're happy to take sponsorship.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, we have a little gift for each one of you. Here you go.
A bag. Bags. I like bags. Pass it down the line. Down the line. Assembly line. Pass this to Kevin. Give this to Kevin. Kevin's not here.
Thank you very much. King's Jesters Improv. Okay, thanks, guys, and good luck up on the mainland. I'm sure you're going to do us all proud. And congratulations on your win. Okay, next up on the agenda is council travel information. We present this every 6 months or so, I believe. Outlines the travel that's been taken by council for information purposes. And next up, we'll move to new business. And our new business will start this evening with Deputy Mayor Andrea Goss.
Okay, just a couple of things I just want to make mention of. We just recently celebrated International Women's Day, and I want to just make mention of two great events that I got to attend on International Women's Day. Friday, March the 7th was the Conception Bay Area Chamber of Commerce event. This year they held it at the Paradise Double Ice Surface. They had a great day, great event, wonderful speakers, awards, Trailblazer Awards, and a couple of community awards. There was, lovely meal, lots of opportunity for networking, and quite a great way to celebrate, business and women in business and real strong community leaders, women who are community leaders. And we also here in the town of Conception Bay South celebrated International Women's Day on Sunday, March the 9th at the Royal Newfoundland Yacht Club. This was a community event, And what a great event it was. We had a fantastic brunch. We had guest speakers. Our guest speakers were, our young youth kind of speaker was Ella Niblock, who gave us a perspective of, what it meant for International Women's Day meant to her and her experiences and her, the role models in her life and her goals and plans. And she was very, very inspirational. And we had Darcy Hillier, who spoke on behalf of Scouts Canada grassroots organization, a non-traditional female organization, and she was fantastic and very motivating and inspiring for anyone who is interested in the scouting movement for sure. And then we had Jocelyn Perry, who we all know is the CEO for Fortis, and she was just amazing. What a fantastic speaker, so down to earth. We were just all captivated by her stories of her journey in that world, that non-traditional world of utilities, of where she works and where she's worked for, I think, 30 years. And the difference from when she started to where things are now, and the numbers of women that are in that industry now, but still much work to be done in that industry to create more equality. And of course, our very own Mayor Bent spoke, on his perspective of working with, some real strong women around this chambers, and he was fantastic, and he certainly did a great job. A little bit of a tribute to all four of us here on council, are four female councillors, and we were quite appreciative of that. So it was a great couple of days celebrating International Women's Day, and with business and with within our community and with our fellow councillors. And I want to thank my fellow female councillors who helped put this all together, and for Councillor Moores, who took a lead role and really, she gave us the direction, and we all know events is her forte. I just want to say thank you to her and to all of you for your support on that event. And I look forward to what might happen next year, because this was fantastic. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Moores.
I was not expecting that. Thank you, Mayor Bent. Just to follow up, it was such a fantastic day. The weather was amazing. The speakers were great. And I do want to say, Mayor Bent, how you did your presentation, it was just, I always tell the time you're such a good speaker, which you are, but the way you put that together, and it was really great. So thank you for that. And I know a lot of people in the room came up to me after and commented on how good it was. And when the event was over, I had 2 or 3 women come up to me and ask if they could be involved next year. So it will happen again. And I think it went really well and everyone enjoyed it. So it was a great morning. So thank you for everyone for supporting and coming out. It was greatly appreciated. Moving on to recreation, Year of Sport funding. So as part of the Year of Sport, the provincial government announced 5 funding programs aimed at increasing access to sport and recreation for residents in Newfoundland. One of these programs, the Sport and Recreation Access Fund, is aimed at providing increases in sport and recreation through access to facilities. The town submitted an application to the fund to offer free public skates at the Conception Bay South and Robert French Arena, also free public swims at the recreation complex. And we are happy to announce that the town received $30,000 in funding from this program. The funding will allow the town to offer 90 free public skates between Conception Bay South Arena and Robert French Arena, as well as 40 free public swims at the Conception Bay South Arena. The town will be releasing a schedule this week outlining which skates and swims will be offered for free, and the town is happy to partner with the government of Newfoundland and Labrador on such a great initiative. So very exciting. That's it for me.
Thank you, Councillor Moores. Councillor Hardy.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. What people is not seeing, he's looking one way and he's saying a name this way, so everyone's trying to follow him. Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. Just want to tag on to a little bit of the International Women's Day. A couple of different points with the Chamber of Commerce, what Deputy Mayor Goss What she didn't say was that she actually passed along a beautiful tribute to her mother-in-law, Carrie Goss, who was recognized during their event, which I thought was very moving. The amount of things Ms. Goss was involved in, and I think, Andrew, you did an amazing job, and I know that was hard to read, but I really thought it was very moving, being a woman in the room, just to know that there's ladies out there that has helped pave the path for the rest of us. Moving along to our International Women's Day, Ellen Niblock really stood out for me, just being such a young community leader, and I have 2 young girls, so it's just to know that there's probably, 10 years in the difference. It's knowing that, yes, we have the Jocelyn Perrys and all those ladies are helping us, but to know there's another generations coming ahead for our kids gives me a little bit more comfort knowing that there's still trailblazers, there's still people out there trying to push any of the barriers. So I was very moved by her, and I was lucky enough to have my youngest there, Emily, who was able to get a picture with Ellen. Thought she was very sweet, so I certainly appreciated that. I also want to thank our fellow male councillors who attended the event. I know Councillor Moores was approached, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 times, wondering why we had a man speak at a female event. It's very important for men to also be champions to us females when we're in these rooms. We can hold all the International Female Days we want, but if we don't have men there to support us, sometimes it may be a little bit hard for us to nudge that pendulum a little bit more. So certainly appreciated that, and certainly appreciate Mayor Bent on his kind words that he spoke about all of us. So it was very, very thoughtful. So a couple of other things now. So this Thursday, I was actually contacted by a member of the community asking me to encourage folks. On this Thursday, March 20th, the Nursing Society is inviting folks to wear pink in honor of Aurora Keats, a beautiful girl from Gander whose bright spirit continues to inspire kindness and love. So she tragically passed away recently, and they're looking to honor her this Thursday by wearing a pink shirt day. She was an avid baseball player, and she was also a very elite athlete and gymnast. So I know we do have a lot of athletes in the community who play both of these sports. So certainly encourage everyone to this Thursday wear the pink shirt day. And then also on Friday is World Down Syndrome Day. My niece actually has Down syndrome, so I'm encouraging all my fellow counselors and anyone who may be listening to rock it out with your funky socks this Friday. Wear something cool, collective, whatever works for you. Certainly do it to help support World Down Syndrome Day. Thank you, Mayor Bent.
And Councillor Hardy, sorry, which day was World Autism Day?
World Down Syndrome Day is this Friday, March 21st.
Down Syndrome Day, Friday. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Councillor Butler.
Oh, my. Being the fourth out of the 4 of us, kind of hard to know what to say, except I never lost for words, of course. So I will say that I'm sure when everybody attended both of these Women's Day functions, they left knowing a little bit more about what it takes to be a strong female in the world these days, and to listen to each of their stories, and to those who were recipients at the Chamber of Commerce event. There's no doubt we have many strong women around us all the time, and sometimes you don't even know who they are, you know, until you hear their stories. So it certainly were 2 great events, and well attended, and people are really looking forward to the next one. And again, Mayor Bent, you made us all sound so wonderful, you know. I mean, we're obviously very busy people. I mean, the 4 females here, quite involved, you know, raising their families and doing everything in the communities. And I think that's just a stepping stone for many females who do enter into municipal politics. That's certainly the reason I started it. I'm not, you know. So maybe it'll encourage others to do the same, hopefully. So thanks to my male counterparts here. It was great having everybody there on Sunday. Actually, everybody was there, so that was good. And it was a very supportive group. And Yeah, I can't wait for next year, Andrea, whatever we're going to be doing. Okay, one other thing, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention what a St. Patrick's Day social that we had. Well, now, I mean, it was just blocked. I mean, the dance floor, there wasn't room to get around a dance floor. It really wasn't. Like, one of the staff said to me, you know, we can put in more people, tables and chairs, but we'd have to make the dance floor smaller. And people say, no way. I mean, the dance floor needs to be bigger, really. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I met people before it and they were looking forward to it. And I was talking to someone today and she couldn't stop complimenting and saying how much she enjoyed it. And they can't wait for the spring fling. So that's what's next. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship, and also want to extend a kudos to all the ladies here for that International Women's Day event. It was, I know Councillor Butler said we were all there, but it was very moving, and everybody said everything already, but I just want to acknowledge that and show appreciation for all the things that you do. It's a pleasure working in this council, and appreciate all of your involvements for sure. I also wanted to mention, actually, before I get to my notes, I wanted to personally wish luck to the, the King's Jesters Improv Group. It was a nice little ditty they did there just a few moments ago, and I was involved with theater when I was in high school and appreciate all the flair that comes with it, and so I wish them all the best in April as they go to the national tournament. Whether they win or lose, I'm sure they'll have those memories for a lifetime, so looking forward to hearing about the outcome for sure. Back to the town business, we're certainly very excited to be moving on with the transition of the Mangles River Interpretation Center. And as Deputy Mayor Goss highlighted during the budget process, we want to do this right. And as part of that, we want to hear from folks like yourself in the community, from organizations, all different types of groups, and we're continuing that process. I don't want to say we're starting, we are continuing that process. This month, we're launching a formal public consultation to gain that feedback, that perspective. We have a public session scheduled on Thursday, March 27th at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall. We have a focus group session that folks I'm sure have signed up for already. And we also have an online survey that we're launching tomorrow, March 19th on our town website. So I do want to encourage folks to take this seriously, because we as council and certainly all the staff here are taking that seriously as well. And we think this is a huge asset for our town. We think it's an exciting time, and looking forward to the next steps of this facility. That's it for now. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Connors.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to echo the thoughts on the International Women's Day event, as a male that was in attendance, it was really motivating to be there. The speakers that were there, it was a motivating day, and I think when everybody left, they were all lifted up a little bit by the speakers that were there. So I want to congratulate fellow female councillors for organising such a great event, and look forward to the event last year. I just got to go back to the Down Syndrome Day on Friday, and Councillor Hardy mentioned her niece. Her niece is a very good friend of mine. Kate Cleary is her name, and she is a superstar. She is a person who, for her age, who's gone above and beyond. She's involved with Special Olympics. She's spokesperson for Special Olympics. You see her on posters at Tim Hortons, at Subway. She does TV ads and everything for them. She is a real superstar. So on Friday, I will try to find a pair of funky socks to wear for Down syndrome, and especially for Kate. I can't let this opportunity. Last week, CBS lost an iconic figure in our town, Norm Simpson, and I got to take a bit of time, because Norm, I've known him for a long time, and I just wanted to recognize and pass along condolences to his family. At his funeral the other day, Reverend Sam Butler saying, who are the people in your neighborhood from the Sesame Street thing. And Norm Simpson's definitely one of those people in your neighborhood that everybody recognized his face, everybody knew Norm. And he was a true CBS resident. He was proud of any sports teams or anything like that in CBS. He was active in a lot of it. So, yeah, and like I was thinking about over the past weekend with Norm, and I first met Norm and his family through Holy Spirit Minor Hockey, which grew into the Conception Bay South Minor Hockey, which grew into the CBR Regional Minor Hockey Association. And I bet you somewhere in Norm Simpson's house, there's a hockey coat with either Norm, Coach, Pop, or something on it, because Norm's been around all those times, and I'd say he got a Holy Spirit coat, and Gerard, Councillor Tilley would remember that a red coat, and I'd say that he still that's down his house. So I just wanted to mention as well, like he was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame in 2003. He's received several honors and awards throughout the community, and even at 87 years old, before Christmas, before he got sick, he was still active with the Sports Hall of Fame and the board of directors and the committee for the Sports Hall of Fame. Provincially, he was recently presented the Newfoundland and Labrador Confederation's 75th anniversary medal, and federally, the Governor General's office had approved a King Charles III coronation medal. Unfortunately, Norm passed away before it was presented to him, so it was presented to him, to his family at his wake last week. And like Norm was anything that a person, a father, or an uncle, a brother, or a husband, and all that stuff, but most of all, Norm was a friend to a lot of people, and a lot of people knew him. So just want to pass along, once again, condolences to his wife, Isabel, or we call Belle, his daughter Gail, his sons Glenn and Scott, and his grandson Aiden. They should be proud, because CBS is a better place because of Norm Simpson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Connors. Councillor Tilley.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just wanted to jump on Councillor Connors' bandwagon with Norm Simpson. I've had the opportunity to know Norm since the day I was born. I mean, back when the days when my parents and Paul, your parents, and everyone else started up the Minor Hockey Association. So, you know, I've always kept close with Norm for years and years, and you know, his commitment to the community was second to none. And Paul, if memory serves me correct, I think the last time I saw Norm wear that jacket was with Jerry Kelly, and I believe it was the 74-75 Holy Spirit Minor Hockey Association year, right? So, and I can't remember the actual function where they were two, but the two of them were so proud to be wearing that jacket, and you know what Norm has done for this community, and again, you know, my heart goes out to Bell and his children and grandchildren as well. So he's certainly going to be missed here in the town for sure. Back to Councillor Barrett, you're an avid drama person. I was expecting to jump up and do an improv, but you let me down. So that's all we can do. Yeah, and again, just to on the coattails of everyone else there too, I had the opportunity to attend the International Women's Day event at the Yacht Club, and ladies, you've done a fantastic job. You know, you put your heads together, and it was a fantastic event, fantastic speakers. If there was a drawback that happened on the days, and when I woke up that morning, there was 15 centimeters of snow on the ground. That was the worst part of my day, but I was certainly enjoyed every minute, enjoyed all the speakers, and certainly looking forward to next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship, I guess I get to sum up. Certainly the two boys have talked very eloquently about our friend Norm, so I won't go any further. I'll just say Norm and I played hockey together 50 years ago on the same team. And so I've known Bet long for sure. Thank you to the ladies and congratulations on International Women's Day. Obviously you did a great job, a lot of hard work gone into it, but there's no surprise. You guys bring that level of work here every time we sit down, and it's a pleasure to work with you. Thank you to the volunteers for the St. Patrick's Day event. We have a group of people who come in pretty much every one of these events now, and it certainly makes running those events a whole lot easier on our staff. Let's see. Swim for Hope, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, we had an opportunity to attend the opening ceremonies for that event a couple of weeks ago. Really, it's a fundraiser for Cancer Care Foundation. It's swimmers are sponsored to swim a 12-hour relay, and this was held on March 7th, and as I said, Mayor and Deputy Mayor and I joined them for the opening ceremonies. Obviously, it's a fundraising event, but I think there's more to it. If you watch those young athletes, there's more to it than just the fundraising. You can see the early lessons in social responsibility, the early lessons in volunteerism, and it was really a lovely evening all around. I want to thank their executive and the organizing people who run that Bluefins organization. And beyond that, Your Worship, that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. It's been a busy couple of weeks for sure. I just want to go back a couple of weeks ago. It seems like a long time ago now, but we were proudly able to announce, along with our partners in Mount Pearl, hosting the top female hockey players in the country are coming here this November for the under-18 Women's National Championship, and we're looking forward to that. And of course, that stands as an example for all the young female hockey players. I know that Councillor Hardy has a couple of them in her family. We'll have a chance to see these athletes, whom we will all hope that we'll be cheering on a little later down the road at the Olympics and so forth. So to have that right here in Conception Bay South is a great privilege to bring them here, and some of the household names in women's hockey, of course, like Sarah Poulin and others are alumni of this tournament, played in it. Actually, she's the all-time leading scorer in it, and we all know her from saving the gold medal for us against the Americans last time around. So it'll be great to see these young women come and play. Swim for Hope, I always check stuff off, Councillor Hillier, to see if there's anything left for me that nobody's mentioned yet, and I thought, I might get to say Swim for Hope would be the one, but it's not. You got it. But what a great event that is. And of course, these young swimmers, they come together once a year for this event. And of course, they do it because it's fun. It's a great club event, and all the swimmers come together to have a great evening. They get to stay up till midnight down at the swimming pool, and hang out together and all of that. But on the other end of it, they raise money individually. I think one young lady and one young fellow, both of them were almost $2,000 each. Raised money for the cancer support, and it's great that these young people are learning, like Councillor Hillier said, this community support. It's what makes us a great community here in Conception Bay South, because we do things for the benefit of others, and of course they don't know who they're benefiting, but the people who get the benefits know. And they appreciate the Swim for Hope and the young people that take part in it. And one of the most moving parts of the ceremony is that before they do their swim, they stand around the pool, and they have a little light that they light, and each one of them lights it for somebody that they know in their family, or somebody that they've known that has had or been touched by cancer. And unfortunately, a lot of them know firsthand, and a lot of us do as well. So when they do that, it's emotional, and it really brings it home, I think, for them and for everybody that's there supporting them. And it was a great event. Deputy Mayor and Councillor Hillier were there, and it was great to be part of that. I always look forward to that event. Something else, the 100th birthday, Bessie Nugent down in is it Foxtrap, or she's in Foxtrap, I believe. Kelligrews, yeah, Long Pond Road, yes, of course. It was down to her 100th birthday, and amazing woman and amazing family there, and they had quite a time. They had an open house from 1 to 6, but I'm told that the other day that didn't end till after 8, and she was on top of all of it for the whole time. Everybody was there and had a great time, and she got recognition from King Charles and, of course, Government of Canada and all that. And so happy 100th to Bessie Nugent, and good on her family. It was a great event. They had people come from all across the country to help celebrate the 100th birthday. International Women's Day, we were to 2 events. It's already been talked about quite a bit, but the Chamber of Commerce holds their annual event. It was a fantastic, it was 3.5 hours long. It just went by like, just click. It was over, and it was fantastic. We had a great time there, and it was a real privilege to be able to present Sherry Bursey Cable with a Trailblazer Award for Bursey's manufacturing and the work that she's done there over the years. And of course, they're rebuilding now, and we wish them all the best. And one of the things that I noticed that it was held in Paradise, and we were, it's the Chambers, the Conception Bay Area Chamber, but it was really Conception Bay South stole the show, I think, at that event. We have some fantastic people, and we have some fantastic contributors to that organization, and of course the women there as well. And like Councillor Hardy pointed out, Deputy Mayor Goss recognized Carrie Goss, your mother-in-law, and all the wonderful things that she did and named a Trailblazer. It was great to see the Goss family there to receive that award. And then the one we held here, to me, it just blew it out of the water. It's just fantastic. I mean, we've held this, 3 or 4 years in a row now. I think every year since this council's been in, we've made it a priority to hold something. But this year was just incredible. It was great to be part of. It was inspiring, to listen to Ella Niblock, and her community involvement here and the things that she is doing and the things that she's looking to do. It was very exciting. Darcy Hillier, incredible, grassroots volunteer with the guides and so forth over the years, and she's really risen to the top of that organization, and is a great leader and a great role model for young women and girls. And Jocelyn Perry, and of course she is the chair of our economic development group, Advantage St. John's, that we're part of, and I have the privilege of sitting at the board table with her every month, and the energy that she has is just incredible. And it's not just the energy. When she says something, you ought to be listening, because she knows what she's saying, because she's been there, she's seen it, she's done it, and most of the time she's led it. So it was great to have her as well, and it was a privilege for me to be able to join in with them and try to add something to it. And it was an easy job from the standpoint of, and I know people have said what I've said, but the inspiration is really in the room. And I've said this right from day one. I'm fortunate enough that I think that we have the best council this town has ever seen, and the people around the room here, the 4 women, 4 men, doing a fantastic job, and they work hard at it, and they care and involved. But when I got to look at some of the background of the 4 women around this table, and to be able to digest it and look at it and read it, that's inspiration, and that's what really matters. And like I think I pointed out, that you don't come by it by accident. You come by it by hard work, getting up every day and thinking about what you can do to help somebody else, and their resumes stand for themselves. So it's great to be part of this group here right now. Norm Simpson, it's I didn't know Norm a long time, probably 10 or 12 years maybe. Iconic figure just about everywhere you went, but one of the nicest guys you're going to run into. And of course, his background is, it goes without saying, I think. But one of the things that made me really stand back when I was looking up some stuff on Norm, and I was talking to his family at the funeral home there last week, and Scott and Glenn and Gail and his wife Belle and them, it's amazing how quickly we lose our history, how fleeting it is when you talk about this event here, that event there, that it goes by in a flash, and other things have happened in the meantime, and it gets lost so easily. And I want to say that, one of the things that stood out is the media and the decimation of local media and the lack of the press and so forth in our community. Because one of the best things that I was able to find was written by Craig Westcott of the Shoreline, and it's called Still Mr. Simpson. And the article is still online, and you can read it, and you really learn about Norm and what it meant to Norm to be Norm. you know, and how he felt about it, you know, and playing hockey with Howie Maker. Told him, kid, you're fast, get up the line, I'll throw the puck to you. So that's what I did, he said, you know, and that story was fantastic. And just Norm talking about, you know, the things that he had done and things he'd been involved in, and how it was pointed out that there's hardly a fellow on the shore that was 50 years old and not older that hadn't had Norm lace up the skates for him at some point or other, or show him something on the ice or on the ball field, or help him with that sort of thing. And that's all in that story that's in the Shoreline. And that's why those, I think the media like that is really important to us. It captures our history, it captures who we are, and a little bit about, you know, maybe where we've been. And without that, you know, those stories are lost. They're gone, you know, because as we get older and pass on, the stories go with us. And if there's not somebody writing them down and sharing them with everybody every now and again, it's really sad. So it was, yeah, Norm was fantastic, and I think that, you know, he would stand as one of the probably the most iconic volunteers in our history from way back, for sure, before the town, I suppose. Hey, I think that's all I have today. I've been talking for quite a while, so I'm going to give it up now and get on to the agenda. And I think we have some other committee updates. Councillor Connors, did you want to offer something up?
Yes, yes, I wanted to give an update. Last week I was asked to attend a meeting on behalf, as representing the Northeast Avalanche Joint Councils Committee, and myself and Deputy Mayor sit on that, and I was asked to attend a meeting on cell service with Minister Goody Hutchings to discuss the cell phone service. So there were representatives there from municipalities, Newfoundland, Labrador, who organized the meeting with the Minister, Southern Shore Joint Council. There were people there from Colnet. The Mayor of Deer Lake was online. There were COA representatives there. I may be missing a couple of communities that were represented, but it was a very broad spectrum of people there representing different municipalities across the island. And there was one thing in common, that almost every community, or not almost every community has challenges, and I'll use that word, be polite, with cell phone service. So the meeting was basically to try to get clarification and an understanding from the federal government on how the delivers of cell service, the large companies that deliver the service, can be held responsible for the service that they're providing. Because as we all know, and this was brought up at the meeting, as say 5G gets introduced, cell service is not improving, it's getting worse because of the bandwidth and everything around the towers, and that they need to be more towers. And I think the challenge now is who's responsible for putting up the towers. So the meeting, we discussed that, if there was anything that could be done to hold some of these providers accountable for the product that they're selling people. As I mentioned, like cell service is not just something that is I'm trying to think of the word to use, but it's needed in today's society. It's needed for social, public safety. Some of the communities came on and spoke about how they don't have 911 service in their area because there's no cell service. It's needed for economic development. And right now it's very unreliable in the province and unstable. So we were told that while the federal and provincial governments have introduced programs to help, that have attempted to address the coverage and service areas, but service areas have gotten worse instead of getting better. So, and the whole thing, a lot of this conversation was around who's responsible for this, who should be the person, who should be the organization or the business, or is it a government responsibility of who should be adding towers, because I think that's the only way that this can be corrected. We also talked about how, like, this is not just a unique problem to Conception Bay South. It's all communities that are involved or that are having unreliable services. So all communities need to be involved with putting together a strategic approach to it. I think MNL said that they're after passing 3 resolutions to address this problem at their conventions, either last year or over the past few years. So it's something that MNL will be sort of taking, I guess, the charge in, or will be leading in. But it's really up to the municipalities to keep pushing MNL to keep this top of mind and responsible. So Minister Hutchings provided some helpful insights on moving forward and how we should engage the provincial government and how other provinces, we had some discussion on how other provinces are addressing this. So there will be, I think MNL will be bringing that information forward. There is, Mr. Hutchings, that hopefully there will be a budget ask to the few years ago. There was a huge budget for connectivity in Newfoundland. There was a huge budget announcement for that, and but that's different than cell service. So it needs to be a budget ask for cell service, and I'm really not sure if the relative points of who holds companies accountable for providing an adequate service. There was some talk about CRTC, but I don't know if they're the regulatory body to be able to do it. But I really don't know if we got any clear answer on that. But it is something that we will be, I'm sure we'll be hearing more about in the future. And I think that is one is very important to our residents, and we're in a fairly populated area, and we have dead zones, and so we need to. That's important to us. But like, I'll just use them as an example. The Southern Shore, there are whole communities that can't get cell service. That are, if they don't have a landline, they're cut off from everything. So it's a major issue. And hopefully this is the start of some good things to come. So I thought it was a real good meeting, a productive meeting. Still, the accountability issue needs to be addressed. That's it.
Thank you.
Any questions or anything?
Thank you, Councillor Connors. I got to say that, cell phone service has gone from being a luxury add-on to pretty well falling into the utility category that almost needs an oversight from someone other than a private company to determine where the money should be spent to build the networks. We're the second largest municipality in the province, and you can go out on the main road just down here and you can't get a cell phone connection to anywhere. I mean, what's the good of having 911 in an emergency if you can't hook up, right? It just boggles the mind, and I think that government really has to get to work on that issue, whether it's with the companies, whether it's through the CRTC or whoever, but they really got to prioritize it. Unfortunately, and I know that other places are probably in worse shape than we're in, because a lot of the money that we hear about being designated is for more rural areas than we are, and they need it just as bad as anybody. But to be here, in some places, you go back, it's like 1987, down in some areas of Foxtrap and that are on the main road, you can't get anything. And it's shocking to me, and it's disappointing that we keep talking about it. I've been to MNL conferences for 4 years now talking about it, and it just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. We've talked about it. The mayor in Holyrood has talked about it quite a bit. You've talked to them. You've represented us on a few things in this, and it just seems to be not getting anywhere. And I know it's not an easy problem to solve, but we know what'll solve it: more towers, right? But we got to get that investment from the companies, and somebody has to oversee that. But anyway, and thank you, Councillor Connors. Appreciate your efforts and in this, is, and I know you'll keep at it, and appreciate that. Does anybody else want to speak to that? Yes, Councillor Moore.
Yes, we had, a downtown CBS meeting last week, so they're, I guess, really putting a focus on now the events that they're going to have over the next year and their plans for the summer. So one thing that they do have coming up is their member mixer on Thursday, April 3rd at 4 o'clock at Jungle Gyms, so you can go online and register if you're part of the downtown CBS Corps. They're really excited to have this. They had one planned before Christmas, but they had to reschedule it, so hopefully we'll get some people out to attend this one. So I just want to pass that along. Thank you.
Thank you. I've already booked in. Anybody else have any other committees that they wanted to speak to before we move on to the business of council? Okay, so first up we have Finance and Administration. Who is that this evening? Deputy Mayor Goss? I wasn't sure. There's been a debate earlier today on who would lead this one.
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor, please.
So we pass it back and forth. Yes, from Finance and Administration, there's 3 items, but the first item we've decided to defer is there were some questions that got brought up earlier in advance, and I had some questions about it. So when we get an opportunity to speak to the town clerk when she returns, we'll
I think we got to table it and then make the motion to defer.
Do we?
So if you want to move
Okay.
it, and we'll get a seconder, and then we'll.
All right, so be it so resolved that the Disability Management and Attendance Support Program Policy be adopted as presented, so moved.
We have a seconder, Councillor Barrett, and discussion, I believe you're moving to.
So I'm going to move to defer this to the next meeting. We have an opportunity to have a conversation, gets more details and a little bit of background on this.
Yeah, seconder for that.
It's a new policy, so.
Seconded by
I felt-
Councillor Morris. All in favor of deferring?
Aye.
Okay, good. Contrary-minded? Carried. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Yep. Okay, next item is the 6B Canada Community Building Fund. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust the Canada Community Building Fund allocation for project number 55-2022-7837, 2023 sidewalks from $500,000 to $236,000 to reflect the actual project cost. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Hillier, discussion?
So the 2023 sidewalks project, originally approved for $500,000, was completed under budget at an actual cost of $236,000 net of HST rebate, with the $264,000 remaining in excess funds. The excess funds will be used towards the ongoing water transmission main project, pending approval from CCBF.
Any other discussion? And just a note, that doesn't take away from any of the sidewalk projects that we have already approved. This is
No.
housekeeping basically from 2023. That money will go into the water main work, and then if we decide to do extra sidewalks, we can do that out of
It's
that.
tidying things up.
Other funding, yeah,
Because
tidying
you can't
things
leave
up.
that money there.
Yeah, so we're not cutting spending the sidewalks. We got a discount then, and we're going to spend more money in the future. Okay.
Yep.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Carried.
6C, Canada Community Building Fund Capital Investment Plan. Be it so resolved that approval be given to submit a capital investment plan application to the 2019 to 2024 Canada Community Building Fund Administration to allocate $1,804,000 to the water transmission main upgrade project. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Butler. Discussion?
So this is, so Part A of the water transmission main project was funded through ISEP, while Part B will be funded with the $1.8 million remaining in the previous round of the Canada Community Building Fund, which was covered 2019 to 2024. A capital investment plan application must be submitted to the Canada Community Building Fund Administration to allocate those those remaining funds to the water transmission project. So this is a resolution bringing forward to us, basically make that application for permission to allocate that reallocate that funding.
Any other comments? Okay, I think I'll call for an audible, but I think we've already approved this. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Carried.
Good, that's everything for Finance and Administration this evening.
Perfect. Okay, so the next up is Planning and Development, and I believe that is Councillor Tilley.
Thank you, Your Worship. We have 4 development applications to bring forward this evening. Item 8A, 2678 to 2684 Topsail Road, Industrial Accessory Building. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 3.15 and 5.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 4845 received on December 12, 2024, proposing to install a 24/7 automated recycling collection bin accessory to the existing recycling depot at 2678, 2684 Topsail Road, be approved, subject to submission and approval of a site plan indicating building location and required buffers. So moved.
Seconder. Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, Evergreen Recycling intends to install an automated recycling drop-off system next to their current location. Similar units have been installed at other locations in St. John's and Torbay, and they seem to be working out favorably. And of course, we did have some public notice with some minor concerns from nearby residents, but the town and the applicant feel that they can mitigate those minor issues.
Any other comments?
Yes, Your Worship. First, let me say that in general, I guess I support anything we can do to increase recycling, but I've got a concern with this application and the site and the busyness of that area in general. Your Worship, this site has 2 businesses, a recycling depot and a corner store. There's an ownership relationship between the 2 businesses. Some time ago, the corner store applied for a permit to rent commercial vehicles. Your Worship, we look at 250 meters, I guess, on either side of this site. We've got a blind turn at Ewings Road. We've got 2 private lanes. We have a recycling depot, a corner store, entrances to Holy Spirit School and Villanova School, and 1,500 students on any given day. So we denied the permit. The applicant appealed our decision, and our decision was upheld during the appeal. The applicant ignored the decision, and today there are 8 vehicles parked in the area and a sign on the side of the corner store saying commercial vehicles for rent. So, Your Worship, until we get some respect for our regulations and for our decision-making, I will not be voting in favor of this motion.
And and are we saying that the corner store owners are the same owners of the recycling facility?
Yes, Your Worship.
Okay, I was under the impression that the recycling facility was bought by a bigger recycling group from St. John's. We met with representatives of them some time ago, and I'm not sure I know of the relationship, but I'm not going to question if you think that's so. But anyway, and respectfully, to be able to maybe lessen some of the traffic that we see during the daytime when school is in and so forth, of people lined up down at the recycling place, this may offer people a chance in the evening to go drop their recycling into this automated bin. It's from what I understand from the meeting we held with representatives some time ago, that these are state-of-the-art electronic devices where you have to punch in the number and put your stuff into the bin, and then you get a ticket and shows you what you put in, and it's credited to your account. So I'm going to support it based on that, but I think that being cognizant of activity and what's going on there is right, and I agree with the premise of your opposition, Councillor Hillier, that yeah, it's we expect these people to follow these permits and not cause trouble like for residents and people in the area, and exacerbate busy intersections and so forth. But my hope is that something like this will help relieve some of that daytime traffic back and forth there. people unloading their recycling and having to go into the building. Anyone else want to speak to this one before we move to a vote? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also received a couple of calls on this today as well, and similar to the concerns raised by Councillor Hillier is that we're adding to something that's already not conforming to permits and regulations that are there. I am very supportive of adding this type of recycling to Conception Bay South, really very supportive. And is there any way we can get clarification if it is the same owners or if it's different owners, or how this is like a new, I wasn't at the meeting where you met with the opponent. So is there any way that we can get clarification on that to?
Yeah, Councillor Connors, I was under the impression that it is separate owners, that the people running the store that we're referring to are not the same owners as the Green Depot.
I don't know, our Director of Planning, do you have any insight into the connection?
Thank you, Mayor Bent. Yes, it's my understanding that the entire property is owned by the Evergreen Recycling, who operate the recycling facility, and they rent the building on the eastern side of the property to another business owner, and that's the convenience store operator, and it's the convenience store operator that has the commercial truck rental.
So yeah, I'd just like to follow up with that. You know, I completely understand what Councillor Hillier is saying. It's been an ongoing issue in our community with these vehicles. However, I do think enhancing our Green Depot and our recycling abilities in our community is also extremely important. And I don't think it's, you know, right to hold it against something that is not related. Like it's different owners, so you know we need to make sure we get those on track, but I don't think it should hold back this new recycling depot initiative.
Yeah, I agree with what's been said about this recycling application. Like this is a container, and because I was on that meeting with Evergreen Recycling, and you know this technology they have, I think, is fabulous, and they were interested in doing something similar on the west end of our community as well, and we think we thought it was great what they're proposing. This is going to the traffic that I think you'll see to these for this container is going to be in after business hours and weekends when the depot is likely not opened. I think that the issue that we have, and it's certainly one of concern, is that you got a non-compliance that we have to deal with these commercial truck rentals. So that shouldn't reflect poorly on this depot, but we certainly have a problem that we need to address.
Anyone else? Yeah, Councillor Hardy.
I'm in support of this application. I have used these electronic recycling bins before. They are very user-friendly. You pretty much punch in your phone number, it goes in, drop down, and you get a little slip or whatever. But I think to Deputy Mayor's point, as well as fellow councillors, we do have a compliance issue that just happens to be in the same vicinity, the same parking lot, I guess, lack of a better word. So I think that needs to be separated and needs to be treated different versus this application forward coming for the automatic recycling.
Anyone else? Yeah, Councillor Barrett.
It's incredibly frustrating to drive by that area multiple times a day, you know, and see those trucks there and the non-compliance issue, like infuriating, frankly, because we had that discussion what seems like years ago now. So clearly we need to work on our non-compliance files, but in any case, I'm 100% supportive of improving accessibility for residents to participate in recycling in whatever way that might look, and I'm happy to support this motion this evening.
Anyone else that hasn't spoken so far? Okay. Yeah, so I think the messaging here is good for the recycling, but we gotta follow up on that non-compliance and get it sorted, and sooner the better, to be honest with you. We'll have to endeavor to do so, and we'll work with staff on that. Councillor Tilley, you get to finish this off if you have anything else. No? Okay. All in favor? Contrary minded? 1 nay. Carried. Okay, Councillor Tilley.
Item 8B, 43 Fowlers Road, Hobby Farm application. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.7, 10.11.2, and 10.25.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 4953 for a hobby farm with 9 chickens at 43 Fowlers Road be approved on condition that the applicant submits a manure management plan, registers with the Provincial Farm Premises ID program, obtain permits for accessory structures related to the hobby farm use, and that no roosters be permitted on the property. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion.
Yes, Your Worship, we received an application for operation of a hobby farm, and we don't have any issue with the hobby farm, provided that there is no rooster on the property.
Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor?
And for the record, Your Worship, it's not that we don't like roosters, but that's part of the regulations, and roosters are not allowed under the regulations.
Noted. Councillor Tilley's unopposed to roosters generally, just when it comes to backyards. Okay.
Item 8C, 5 to 9 Stanley's Road, subdivision of land. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 3.12 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, application number 4613 received on September 9, 2024, proposing to subdivide 5 to 9 Stanley's Road into 3 residential building lots with variances to reduce the lot frontage on one lot from 15 meters to approximately 13.9 meters be approved. And further, be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 3.12 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, the variance requests to reduce the building line setback from 10 meters to 9 meters for 2 new lots proposed at 5 to 9 Stanley's Road in application number 4613 received on September 9, 2024, be refused in consideration that the compliance with the building line setback would not prejudice the property development of the property. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion.
Yes, Your Worship, as I just explained, the applicant wishes to create 2 new lots, and he asked for variances of frontage for width and setback. The town is okay with allowing the variance for the width, but not the setback, as the new houses can fit onto the new lots and meet the setback required in our regulations.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
8D, 674 Conception Bay Highway, a business application. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 10.7 and 10.12 of the town's development regulations, application number 4917, received on January 17, 2025, proposing to operate a medical and professional use, which happens to be a massage therapy clinic at 674 Conception Bay Highway, be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion.
Yes, Your Worship, as I just alluded, a massage therapy clinic application. This is considered discretionary under our zoning. We did have a public notice, and we had no real concerns raised by the public, so staff is welcoming the new business to Conception Bay South.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And that's it from the planning world.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley, and we're moving on to procurements, and not sure who that is tonight. Procurements.
That would be me as well, Your
Is that you,
Worship.
Deb? Okay, Councillor Tilley, carry on.
3 items under procurement. 11A is an approval to lease 1 new 2025 recycling truck. Be it so resolved that approval will be given to lease a new and unused recycling truck as per tender 2502 terms from Amtruck Limited at a monthly lease rate of $11,550 plus HST. Funds are available in the capital fleet account. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler, discussion.
Yes, Your Worship, I believe this is just a new truck that's going to be replacing one of our older recycling trucks.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
11B, approval to purchase a 2025 mid-sized crew cab truck. Be it so resolved that approval be given to purchase 1 2025 mid-sized crew cab pickup truck from Hickman Chevrolet St. John's at a cost of $57,789.95, plus HST. Funds are available in the capital fleet account. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Hardy, discussion?
And your worship, this is a new vehicle, just replacing one of our aging fleet of trucks.
All in favor?
Right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And the last, 11C, approval to purchase playground equipment for Topsail Beach. Be it so resolved that approval be given to proceed with the purchase and installation of playground equipment at Topsail Beach Playground from Coastline Specialties as part of the canoe procurement at a cost of $168,600.27. HST not included. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Everybody wants to second that one. We'll go to Councillor Barrett. Discussion.
Yes, your worship, this has been a long time coming. We've been many years trying to make improvements to the playground down in the Topsail Beach area. And so we're pretty excited and pretty happy to make this announcement this evening. And hopefully we'll get the work done relatively soon.
Anyone else? Councillor Barrett.
Well, this is very exciting for all of us, obviously. This is probably the first of two bills. This is for the equipment, and we'll also have one for installation. But hopefully it's all said and done by the summer. So really excited about that and happy we finally got here today as part of our 2025 budget.
Anyone else? Yeah, no, it's something that's been on the agenda since day one and before day one, really, to upgrade the playground down at Topsail Beach. And we had to do an assessment of our playgrounds first and come up with priorities and set priorities and so forth. And for the big ones, this was the top of the list of the big ones. And it's like Councillor Barrett pointed out, this is phase one of the payment. There's another one, probably about the same size, I think, over $300,000 investment in this area that I think will improve it for families and going forward for a few decades, hopefully. So it's a great to get to this point anyways. Get it bought, get it up. Any idea, Recreation Director, how long it'll be before we start seeing some action down there?
If all goes well, it should be installed by June.
Installed by June. All right. Summer of '25. That'll be a good pirate day down there this year, for sure. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And that's it from procurement, and I believe the deputy mayor will be taking care of the orders.
Is that true, Deputy Mayor Goss? You
It
got some
sure
orders
is.
for us.
Yep.
Order away.
Okay, orders. This is not nice stuff, but first one is 12A is for 7 to 13 Kingsway Drive. Be it so resolved that the order issued on March 11th, 2025, under the Towns and Local Service Districts Act and the Town of Conception Bay South Commercial Motor Vehicle Bylaw, ordering the property owner and tenant to cease and desist the parking of any commercial motor vehicles situated on the property located at 7 to 13 Kingsway Drive, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hardy. Discussion. Confirming the order. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Okay, next item. 12B, 142 Fowlers Road. Be it so resolved that the order issued on March 11th, 2025, under the Towns and Local Service Districts Act and the Town of Conception Bay South Waste Disposal and Property Bylaw, ordering that property owner to remove a wrecked motorhome trailer and miscellaneous debris situated on the property located at 142 Fowlers Road, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Moores. Discussion.
It's self-explanatory. Clean up your property.
Yeah. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
That's it for orders. Thank you.
All right, and that's it for the agenda for tonight. So thank you, everyone. And we'll be back here again in 2 weeks' time on April Fool's Day, April the 1st. So we'll see everybody on April the 1st. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn now. Moved by Councillor Tilley, seconded by Councillor Hillier. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.